Hello everyone, my name is Cheryl, I'm 61 years old, and I want to share with you my tips on how I do my makeup that helps me to look younger. And so I'm going to go through a tutorial today, just applying my makeup and showing you what works for me. And hopefully you can get something out of this and it can help you. So anyway, I don't wear, just so you know, I stopped wearing foundations or anything heavy on my face or any kind of pressed powders or anything like that. And I did for many years use like a light BB cream that's tinted, but as time has went by, I have found that I don't use that either on my face because it actually still settles into the wrinkles. And so I start with, the thing that I start with is a concealer because I do get the dark circles under my eyes. And so I do get some redness around my nose. So that's the first thing. And I'm using the e.l.f. and I'm using the e.l.f. concealer. It's a 16-hour medium neutral. Okay, and I use this side so that the pointed side so that because it gets too, it's easy to get too much on. And so I just start right here where the line is on both sides. And what I do is I leave that to sit for a minute so it soaks in, because I really do have some pretty good dark circles there. And so while that's soaking in, I will put on my lipstick. So the lipstick I just get from the dollar store, and it's Twinkle. And the first one I put on, I like to put my lipstick on because my lips are so dry while I'm doing my makeup. And then I don't like, it's kind of a bright pink, so to tone it down, I use this e.l.f. Party in the Buff. And later on, when I'm at the end, I will do a lip liner. And so when I do my concealer, I try to, tap it and just get right in there. And then I go tap under and go up right here. And then I go right there where my glasses are, and then up in that dark circles, and then around my nose. So once I get the concealer on, I don't use, I don't use, like I said, any foundation or anything else. I got this LA Colors from the dollar store. It's called Glow Time. And I just love this stuff. Don't want them to stop making it. And I go up on the top part of my forehead and then the sides. And then right on that cheekbone. And then up a little. Right on the cheekbone and up a little. I always do it on my nose so it looks like I have a little tan. And then what's left right here. Okay, so once I get that on, I have a brush that I blend it in, and I just kind of tap it in. And I believe that when you tap it in, it just helps it to settle so it doesn't, so it goes into the lines. So I tap it at first, and then I do circles, blend it even better. And by putting it up higher, it really causes a lift. I like to use my fingers too to blend things. So the next step is my blush. And I have a cream blush that I use. I don't like to anymore to use powders because it settles into the wrinkles. And so this is e.l.f. and it's kind of a bright pink like color like the lipstick. I couldn't find the actual name of the color on it, but it is like a pretty pink. And I go right there, just one little dot on each side, and I want to lift, and so I don't want to drag down, so I do it up high. And so and then I just tap that in too. I don't pull or anything because I don't want to pull on my skin and cause more wrinkle lines. I just love that pink color on my skin tone. Okay, and so the next thing that I do before I do my eyeshadow, because I do my eyebrows because I like to let it set in before I use the brush part of it and brush it. And so okay, so what I do is I brush them first, and then I don't put a lot of, the pencil I have is the Maybelline, let's see what it is. It's the Maybelline Nano. It's got a little tiny nano precision so I can make lines. And I just make lines like my real eyebrows and just kind of go out, put it on where the sparse areas are. I don't put a lot because I find that even heavy eyebrows can age you too. And so the little lines. And I love this color. This is 200 Blonde. Okay, and so I don't, I leave that on to settle in while I do my eyes. So the next thing is the eyeshadow. And I have just Walmart type brushes that I use. I don't use any special name brands. And so what I start with is, a lot of people put like a neutral color. I don't like a lot of eyeshadow. I don't like a lot of eyeshadow on either because I kind of feel like that ages me too. So the color that the palette that I'm using is from Lenora, and it's got some beautiful colors. It's called the Attraction palette, and it has some beautiful colors. Today I'm going to use the color Vibrant and the color Stone. So I start out with Stone. And what I do is I go right here in the corner and over a little bit to halfway through my eye. Because I have darkness in the middle here, and I do have kind of sunken in eyes, so I have to be careful in the way that I'm putting on my eyeshadow. And so this is just, and this is really just a simple routine, you know, that I do. Let's see if I can find out. And I have to have Q-tips because there's fallout. Okay, and so I have this like sponge that I've used for years, these types of things. And I just like kind of go over and blend it in with it. I find that using the sponge works good. And then I take my finger and blend. I always take a Q-tip and make sure I get it off of the sides there. And so then I blend. In a tapping motion. Okay, and so the next thing I do, okay, so in the corner right here of my eyes, it always gets dark, which really ages a person, especially when you have your mascara and everything on. It really ages you to have the darks in between the eyes there. So I have this Laura Mercier that I've been using for quite a few years, and it's Vanilla Kiss. And it's just this little, I just love it because it's not shimmery or anything. So it's not, you know, so it doesn't stand out. I don't, you know, I like it to look natural. And I just put it right there in the middle of my eyes. And then I take my fingers and blend on where it's dark, and then even bring it over a little. And then even just bring it over a little. And so then the next thing is, let's see. Then I do brush my eyebrows to blend that in. Always going in the direction of the eyebrow growth. Like to brush it and blend it in so it looks natural. Okay, so the next thing is I have the e.l.f. primer for my eyelids, because for when I go to I like to put a light color on my eyelid. And so I put a primer on it first so that it stays all day. There. And this is the e.l.f. primer. The radiant, the light color right here, radiant. And I'm gonna put that on. I just love this color. Beautiful. It's my favorite. And then I just, you know, I just take my finger and I just kind of go like that and blend it. Okay, and then the next step is the eyeliner, or the, yeah, I tight line. I don't put lines or on anymore. Now that I'm getting older, I find that to be aging. Any, dark lines, I used to wing it. I don't wing it anymore. I found something that actually is beautiful, a technique that I'm really enjoying. And that is that I put it on I start out and I put it on the inner corner. Then I go over to the back, to the end. I put a pretty good line there. And I just love that. So then I go over to the other eye, inner corner. See, that really opens up the eyes. Okay, and so the next step is I curl my eyelashes, and then I'm going to share with you a little trick that I have learned. Wait a minute, I forgot one step. The highlighter. This is the Wet n Wild, and the color is 800 When the Nude Strikes. Love this. Totally love this. And what I do is it goes right here on the bridge of my nose and up, and I found that if I put it to right on the bridge of my nose and then right here between my eyes, it kind of really disguises any kind of frown lines. And then I put it right here to give the illusion of more fat, more volume in my cheeks. And so this is something that I've really, really loved, that really, really helps with aging. And I always just use my fingers to rub it in. Just feel that it blends the best that way. See how that brightens and brings out my cheeks? Yeah, I love it. Okay, so the next thing is I curl my eyelashes first. So what I'm going to do is I have the e.l.f. lash extender, and it's in brown. And what I found is and it's a tubing mascara, and what I found is that it works good like as a base, but it's not, it doesn't bring out my eyes enough with the color. So I bought the Milani highly rated, and it's in a black tubing, and I use both of them, and I've got a system going where it works for me. Okay, so I'm going to curl my eyelash. And I kind of lift it up a little bit like this to get a good curl. I do one eyelash at a time because my eyelashes are so straight, they come out really, they uncurl really fast. And so here we go. So this will be like the base. Okay, there's one. And this is a Revlon eyelash curler. Had it for years. And I really, really liked it. Lift it up. Okay, put this on. Always go in the direction of my eyelashes, the natural growth. Okay, so that's on. And you see it's not popping. It's not really popping. I need it to pop. So I also do a little bit on the lower lash. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Because that brings out my eyes really well. See how that? And I really don't have to tight line on the lower, because when I do the tight lining on the top, sometimes it pulls down into that and it looks good. So always start with the eyelash at the end and then go towards the middle. The good thing about I just started using the tubing mascaras, and what I really like about it is there's no flaking, and showing the dark under, like where it tends to fall down under the eyes during the day. Okay, so the last thing that I do before I put my earrings on and my hair is and I'm sorry, I keep trying to look in the camera. It's a little more difficult when you're doing your makeup. Okay, so I will, and then I coat the top layer with this Milani. I love this Milani because it really extends the lashes. And I usually don't like blacks of anything, I just browns, but this Milani is perfect. It doesn't make it look harsh or anything. It's perfect. So do you see how that pops? I love it. So I'm really enjoying to do this Get Ready with me, and I hope you're enjoying and learning from it. And as time goes, as I get better at doing these videos and time goes by, I'll share all my beauty secrets with you. And I have learned a lot, as and everybody's different. Everybody has their tricks and things that work for them. I've tried things that have worked for other people, and it doesn't work. And this system that I'm doing right now really works for me, and the colors. Okay, another tip about these tubing mascaras. See how that, I just love it. See what a difference that made when I put that on over the e.l.f. Another tip that I wanted to tell you is that I learned from experience is when you put on the first e.l.f., the brown, if you decide to use it, don't let it dry too long before putting this on, because then it all clumps up. I kind of just put that on, and then very shortly after, I put on the Milani, and then it turns out really nice. So here is the Maybelline, and it's Seek Adventure 30, and what this is it's one of those super stay. And I like using this the super stay because my lipstick comes off on, cups and things that I'm when I drink things, and comes off, and it actually goes out of the lines. And I need to also line the lips anyway to define them and clarify them, because that also helps with helping you look younger. And so I'm going to show you. So what I do when I use this is Q-tips are a must with everything. Okay, so what I do is I just go right, I don't go all the way down to the corner, I go right here on the top and right there. Sometimes I take a Q-tip to blend it. And then I just go right under here. See what a difference that made? Really brings out the lips too. And I don't have to, I don't have to use a little line. This just stays on. This just stays on all day. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you.